always wanted to pursue a law and public safety career, and I've also wanted to learn information that could help me save someone's life on that.
To gain a more extensive knowledge of careers in the medical field.
Well, you get to learn about emergency medical information that could help someone save his life. You can learn fire safety, fire techniques, how to extinguish fires, how to be safe around flammable, hazardous materials, and you can also learn about law enforcement laws.
Knowledge of things like fire safety and basic life support and like CPR and stuff like that.
I've had hands-on activities, I've learned the information, and I've also learned information that is in college courses so I could be able to excel in those areas.
It's taught me stuff that I know I'm going to learn and I know I'm going to need.
You need an open mind, you need to be able to cooperate with other classmates, you need to get to know people so you can work better with them and have a better learning experience.
Open-minded, willing to participate, and good at paying attention.
I want to be a paramedic or EMT first and then pursue a career as a major sports events administrator, so I'll be over all the emergency things.
I want to be a pediatrician.
In the future, I would like to start my own business, so I thought this would be essential to learn the skills that I need to do to start.
I joined the class because of the field trips, and I wanted to own my own business one day.
From this class, you learn all about taxes to stocks, investments, how to run a business, how to own a business, stuff like that.
Public speaking, personal finance, and things like that.
Well, alone, it taught me about how to manage my own money, and when I get off to college, I think that's going to be important.
It showed me how to communicate with others and be a team worker and public speaking, basically.
Really, as long as you're motivated to do your work, I think it's a great class.
You can't be afraid to talk in front of people because you present a lot.
Plans for the future, I would eventually like to move to Colorado and start my own action sports business, and that's why I'm taking this class.
I plan on joining the Army.
What made me want to take this class is I really, going into college and all that, it teaches you more about ag and natural resources, which is what the program is, and it kind of helps you with and we talk about wildlife management and all that, and so that's kind of one of my favorite things. And we used to own a farm, and so ag was what we did, and so kind of wanted to learn a little bit more about it.
Well, it seemed like a pretty cool class to take. It revolved around a bunch of stuff I do at home, so I thought it'd be a good class. It looked fun, and it is, so I enjoy it.
Well, we learn a bunch about plants and animals and their science background and wildlife and how to manage wildlife and gun safety and many things, and you'll learn many things that you think you wouldn't learn in here, and you kind of get a lot of, you have background in your first year, and then second year it kind of goes in depth, and it helps a lot with your outside world.
Well, I think it'll help me get into college because I've been working on welding, and that's what I'd like to get to college for, so I think maybe I can learn some of that. Just a bunch of everyday life, how to grow plants and agriculture and all that.
Well, in college, there's many programs, like you can go into game warden, wildlife management, and we learn about that and learn about how to go with managing the population and managing what wildlife does, and then you can go into the farming industry, and we talk about agriculture and the science behind it, plants and animals, and so we learn a lot about the afterlife of high school and your careers.
You just got to come ready to learn. You got to be able to listen and do what you're told, because you could end up getting hurt. But other than that, you just got to pay attention and put in effort.
Well, you really don't need many skills to be in this class. Really, you need, of course, you're listening and you need to pay attention because, I mean, if you don't listen like in any other class, you're not going to get much comprehension and all that. So, really, you got to be able to know kind of a little bit about ag and the background of it at least. But when you come in here the first year, it's really way better.
Well, like I just said, it helped me out learning how to weld. So I think it could help me get into college and give me a job doing that kind of thing. So, you know, it helped me out like that, prepare me.
Well, I'm going to go in electrical engineering, and this class, it helps me with the electrical and the engineering part because we kind of go with the engineering in here and developing stuff and making stuff.
Try to do something like welding or fabricating or designing or something like that in that field. And this class has helped me, you know, get off the ground, learn the basics.
I've always had an interest in construction because it runs in the family. So, you know, that made me want to take it a lot. My dad's a carpenter and I wanted to be a carpenter, so.
I wanted to take this class because middle school, they told me that it was good for people who are creative and want to actually go into the construction field and become architects and stuff. And that was a field that I was interested in. So.
Patience, learning, but sometimes you just have to start over. You know, start from the beginning and redo everything.
I will take the fundamentals on how to make a building structurally sound and build structures so that they can stand and not fall over.
It's prepared me a lot. I'm going to the military, you know, to a military environment. That deserves a lot of patience. You know, learn how to do stuff with my hands and just learn that sometimes you got to get dirty to get something done.
College by giving me skills so that I can actually get a job to pay for college if I actually need the help. And for the work field, it said it could give me a job, all the skills that I need to actually get a job.
Common sense and a willingness to learn.
All you need to do is be creative and be able to pay attention and learn.
I'm going to the United States Army as a Cav Scout, and when I get out, I'll be a carpenter and a welder.
I plan to use the skills that I learned here to pay my way through college and have a startup job for the field that I choose to go into myself, get my master's degree in college.
I had an interest in science, and I heard that we do a lot of hands-on stuff in this classroom, in the lab, and I was really excited to see what kind of things we do.
Okay, so my brother had previously taken polymer, and I just remember every day he would come home and he would just bring all this cool stuff to the house, and I was like, that looks cool. I want to do that. And it was involved science, which also interests me, so took the class.
This class provides a very basic sort of baseline knowledge for a field of study that I really enjoy and that I want to pursue in the future.
This class doesn't just necessarily involve just science. It brings into math and then even your chemistry other than just polymer. So I use that knowledge in all my other classes too.
Definitely taught me how to work in a lab setting, and
this class, which is different from all the other classes, is you just don't learn the stuff that you're gonna do later in life. You actually do it. We go learn a lesson and then we get to come in here in this lab and we use what we learn.
You definitely need responsibility and respect for the teacher. But most of all, I really enjoy that in this class you can have fun while also doing work, so you really need to have that ability to switch between the two.
You definitely need to have like a passion for something you do. And it's not for everybody, but like you need to have passion, and then you need to like be like responsible and understand where it's time to put all the work you've like to be responsible in like what you're doing and do it good.
In the future, I plan to go to USM to pursue a polymer science and engineering degree.
I plan on getting an engineering degree and joining the Air Force.
So I wanted to take health science because I saw it as an opportunity to learn more about the healthcare field. I want to go into the healthcare field, but I don't know exactly which occupation I wanted to go into when I got here. So
I knew I wanted to go into the healthcare field, and coming into this class gives me the opportunity to like look at different options I can go into as well. And then I knew that you learn CPR and first aid in this class, and I think everyone should have that in life.
I take a lot of knowledge from this class, but mostly what kind of coworker I want to be. I've gotten to see a lot of clinical situations and just how people interact with each other, and it's really been helpful.
Learning more about my career that I would like to go into, doing clinicals really helped figure out what I want to do.
It's given me the opportunity to take more responsibility for my actions because we're trusted to go to clinical sites and we get to go out into kind of the workforce and see how you're really supposed to act.
It's helped me figure out what kind of coworker I would like to be. We learn about characteristics that you need to be in your job, so like having empathy. So that's something I'll take into a career.
I think the most important thing in this class is that you're open to learning new things and that you have strong work ethic.
Definitely being open-minded about everything and being willing to learn. Like you need to have an open mind.
I want to go into physical therapy and I want to specialize to work with athletes.
I would like to go to Mississippi State to major in kinesiology, then go into physical therapy, specializing in special needs.
I heard about it from a friend and saw it on the choice sheet and thought it was interesting.
I wanted to take digital media because I've always been interested in photography and digital art.
A lot of technical knowledge with computers and computer software.
This class has taught me how to use Photoshop and editing softwares like Final Cut Pro.
It's helped me learn a lot more about computers and the programs on them, and a lot more about being creative with computer programs.
This class has prepared me for a career by giving me communication skills and helping me to learn to write a resume and interview.
Creativity is key, especially in this class.
To be successful in this class, all someone really needs is some common sense and creativity.
I want to go to college for graphic design.
I hope to open my own photography business one day.
And I knew a couple people that graduated, and they said IT was probably the way to go if you wanted to get into the
He's the one who originally got me into technology and hardware, and I always wanted to follow after him. And so,
most hands-on experiences, a little bit of knowledge in networking.
the information I've learned from it, mainly like hardware and stuff like that, it's helped me out a lot in building like my own computer and stuff.
It's given me a lot of hands-on experience working with Edward and all that on work orders, and I learn better with hands-on, so this will probably help a lot in my career.
The hands-on experience mainly, and the whole way we do things in here, just how we took apart a computer and then built it back up in the first year of it. Just it helped me out a lot, and it helps you get that hands-on experience you need, that you have to have pretty much to get into college and learn about.
Patience is probably the biggest one, because we use that every day. Steady hands would probably be close number two.
Just prior knowledge of technology and hardware.
On going somewhere in the IT field.
I want to go into the field of just technology and hopefully one day just become a tech that just goes around places and works on computers.
Class because I've heard of all the skills that you can get from this class. Like you can learn different things in the restaurant, or you can learn different things in like love for cooking and being in the culinary type business. So whenever I found out and I moved here in 10th grade, I realized that was something that I wanted to do. So as soon as I could, I signed up right away. From this class, I would take the knowledge of learning the different techniques from like a knife and how to manage your personal skills and your personality, and learning like the basics of how to run a restaurant. Some knowledge is actually working with people and being able to coexist with your peers and other people. Also being able to, like I said, just coexist with people, learning how to listen, follow directions, because if you don't follow the directions the right way, then your recipes and everything are going to come out really bad. This class, I wanted to go into a career of culinary, so this class has really built up like my knowledge of what it takes to run a restaurant, what it takes to work with different people. And you have to learn, like, if you're working with another person, you have to know that you can't always be like, I don't want to do this if you want to do this. You have to learn to compromise. I don't plan on going into the culinary field, but being that I am working at a fast food restaurant right now, it helps me to learn, like, measurements and sanitation levels. And I do plan on being a lawyer, so it helps me to be able to work with a diverse group of people. So that really helps. Basically, like I said, it's the personal skills. You have to know that if you're working with another person, you have to compromise. You can't say, I don't want to do this, but you can learn that, like, if a person says, maybe we should try this, you can't say, no, I don't want that. You can say, okay, we can try that, but we can also build off of it. You have to learn that. Like I said, you have to be a people person, because if you can't work with a group of people, then we don't work on projects by ourselves. You are doing it as a group. And like I said, following directions, you always have to follow directions, because if you don't, then you'll never learn from anything. And learning how everyone needs to be an individual leader. You always have to take part in being cooperative. My plan for the future is actually going to a culinary school or running a business that has to do with anything that has to do with culinary. So like either a restaurant or either being a chef. Anything that has to do with culinary. That's what I plan for. I plan to go into law school. Culinary is something that I love, and I will always do that because it's fun. I love cooking, but as of right now, I plan to be a lawyer.
I hadn't heard about it before coming into the class, but my cousin had told me about it, and I'd always wanted to be a teacher, so I took the class not knowing what to expect, and I got more than I expected. I thought it would be stressful because I felt like we would have to do loads of work, and we don't just focus on work, we focus on each other as well.
I didn't really know about this class until one of my good friends talked to me about it because she was in it, and she was rambling on about the great opportunities and the field experience that no lesson could just teach, and she thought it was an amazing opportunity and knew that I wanted to be a teacher, so she told me about it.
It's definitely given me a different perspective on how teaching is, because I used to think, all teachers do is they sit at a desk all day and grade papers or hand out papers, but it's a lot more than that. Once you're in this class, you really understand what teachers have to go through.
I definitely feel like I have a step up in the world of teaching. I feel like I have been prepared in more ways than I can count with the on-field experience with the children and in the classroom, learning about cognitive development and just the different things that students go through. But like out of the lesson, I think this class has taught me a lot about working with others and just being a family, being best friends, and that's good skills to know.
I definitely want to teach at the primary school.
I plan attending William Carey University because there's a good scholarship that comes from taking this program for both years.
Over at the primary, they have a lot more fun learning because they're younger and the teachers over there know how to make things more appealing to them. and they give them like fun activities and games to play, but while they're doing those, they're learning a lot. But
I plan on coming back to Petal to teach. I don't know. I'm kind of open on what I'm going to teach. Thinking about special education or elementary.
So I want to be able to make a lot of kids happy and let them know that even though they're going to have to grow up at some point and they're going to have to, you know, have a career and be professional, they can still have fun when they're younger. And so I want to be able to make kids' lives a lot more fun when they're younger.
And just the things that I've gone through in this class, I feel like I could take it. And I know that teaching is going to be a difficult job, a difficult task, both emotionally and physically, but I'm prepared.